Hi, almost everyone is watching my channel without a subscription. Please support me and subscribe. I release videos every day for you. Story 1. I ruined a friendship that lasted 30 years, all because my 43M, BAF 42M, have been like brothers since 8th grade. I've been there for pretty much every milestone in he and his family's life. No matter what, he was my brother from another mother, and we behaved as such. Over the last 10 or so years, we didn't hang as much. Both have demanding careers. So any time we got to hang was very much cherished. The last 5 or 6 times we were supposed to hang, he straight up ghosted me. No call, no text, just plain not showing up. I would often hear from him the day after with an apology, and usually blaming his GF for not being able to get out the house. And as I told him I understood, maybe we'll catch up next time. So my birthday came up and he offered to go treat me to wings and beer at the sports bar while watching the NCAA tourney. I took him up on it, as it's been almost a year since we'd seen each other, even though we live in the same city. So we made plans to meet up at 5 p.m. 530, no show. 6 p.m. no show. I bet you guys can see where this is going. So I stayed and enjoyed my wings until the game was done and went home. I told my wife what happened and told her I'm over the friendship. She said we are too close for me to just throw our brotherhood away. But I told her I'm only matching his energy. If our brotherhood doesn't merit a courtesy call or text to inform me you can't make it, especially after being the one to invite me out, then that's no brotherhood I want to be a part of. Ed ta for this? Verdict: overwhelmingly NTA, with a mix of cut your losses type comments and speculation about abuse and control from the GF, with encouragement to try once more. Update: first of all, let me thank everyone for their advice and judgment. So yesterday, I went to my buff office and waited until he left for lunch. He was surprised to see me, and we headed to DD for coffee and to talk. So I put it out there that I am contemplating being done with our friendship, due entirely to him ghosting me and not reaching out. He proceeded to show me his phone log and text messages. His GF consistently calls and texts him all day when he's working. She tracks his whereabouts through his iCloud. He found an AirTag in his spare tire well. He says she's neurotic about him and everything he does. If he tries to leave the house for anything, he has to take her along or she'll throw a fit, hide his wallet, phone, keys, etc. I asked him flat out why is he still with her. He tells me she has no family on this side of the country, she's from Arizona, and he can't kick her out. He said he reached out to her brother to help get her back home, but he doesn't take him seriously. I told him to change his iCloud password, go home before she gets off, pack a bag and come stay with me. I feel like this woman is something out of a killer movie, and she may hurt him or herself. It's not healthy and a highly dangerous situation to be in. So for now, he's staying with us while trying to find a way to get her out of his life. Update: hello Redditors. Thanks to all who reached out in the comments and private messages. Well, a lot has happened this past week. So BF came to stay with wife and I, and sure enough that first night she blew his phone up. He didn't answer and it went on till about 1 a.m. Between the hours of 2 and 6 a.m., she rode past my house about 15 times. I live at the end of my cul-de-sac, so she has to turn right in front of my home to get out. I set the geo-fencing on my ring cam to stretch past my driveway just to see if she would drive by. She didn't see his car, it was in the garage, so she would sit for a couple of minutes and drive by. He was able to avoid seeing her for about 3 days, then she started calling everyone he knew to try and find him. He would alternate getting a ride from me or an Uber so she wouldn't see his car at work. In the meantime, we tried to find a way to get her out of his apartment. He lives in one of those luxury apartments where there is a limit on how long your visitors can stay, in his case 30 days. So we proceeded with a plan to evict her without involving the law. So Sunday while she was at church, we convinced his management company that he lost his key fob, so they reprogrammed his reader and give him 2 new fobs. My wife and I helped him pack up all her belongings, put them in his storage unit on the ground level, and instructed the concierge that she was no longer welcome in his place and to allow her access to his storage to retrieve her belongings. His building has a no soliciting rule and a pre-approved guest list, so he told them she was no longer allowed up to his apartment. His building is very strict in that no one can stay there without being added to the lease for more than 30 consecutive days. Since she isn't on the lease, she is effectively excommunicado, and there is no recourse because she isn't a leaseholder. She still calls and texts, but he has yet to see her since he came to stay with us. His sister, the cop, found out what was going on for my wife, and she lost her shit. Needless to say, we had to talk her down about putting her career in jeopardy. For now, the ex-skiff is gone from his place, and we just have to see how long it takes her to get the hint. Story 2. I asking my girlfriend to continue doing my laundry if she wants me to buy groceries. She works from home since COVID most of the time but sometimes does go into the office. I go to my office every day. My girlfriend has always done our laundry together and never had a problem with it for all these years. Since she works from home, she takes care of a lot of the housework, but I do help out where I can when I get back from work, although she often refuses my offers with reasons like I should wash my hands better. I do wash my hands though. Lately, she has started separating my undergarments and vests from the laundry pile and not washing them when she had no trouble doing that in the past. She that my undergarments would contaminate her clothes and wants me to do them myself in a separate load. Yet she still washes hers in the same load. I suggested we do all our undergarments in a different load, and she said no because hers are cleaner and that would be worse. She got pretty mad and made some nasty comments about my hygienes, saying I should keep myself cleaner in my privates, not soil myself, I do not, and learn how to wash my hands. I do shower and I do wash my hands, but maybe it is natural that men smell more ick. I am getting pretty annoyed at being treated like I am disgusting when I am not. I lived with my mom before her who did my laundry, and never said my boxers were dirty. I said if she keeps doing this, I will stop buying the groceries she keeps telling me to bring on my commute from work, and she can do that herself. Edit. Point taken. I will take her advice about hygiene and shave/wax down there and see a doctor in case I have some condition. And apologize to her. Relevant comments. Info. Are there streaks in your underwear? I am hairy there and sometimes yeah, but I explained to her that it is not something guys can do anything about and that I do wipe. She brings it up in a mean way all the time, but that is why I put them in the laundry so they get cleaned. Please invest and abide it. We have one, but I do not like it and she uses it. It splashes everywhere and makes it damp. When I tried using it, it was even more unclean. We have abide it when I try to use it. It makes a mess and is worse as there is brown liquid everywhere even after trying as I cannot completely dry it off. You don't wipe enough if there are streaks. It is not like it is covered in poop blobs, and most of the time there is nothing. Maybe a light mark once every 3 days. Do you wash down there? Yeah, I've even put body wash in there before taking the shower head to it. I shower daily, except sometimes miss a day on weekends. Always shower before work. Do you actually wash your butthole? She does as part of her foreplay. I do not feel like putting fingers there. But point taken, I will shave there, maybe get a professional wax and start cleaning more. Girlfriend. She has never gotten a UTI or infection. She makes me shower in ways she wants before we do. She forces me to shower every time we are intimate, under her supervision in her way. One more from OOP. I talked to my best friend about this and he said it was normal, and he does too. Underwear will not be spotless after use, otherwise what is the point of cleaning it? I am sure hers is not clean either. Maybe they had different anatomies than I do. My brother was the same growing up, and his wife does not seem to complain. I will try and see if I can do anything though if you say it is not that normal. Update. I would like to thank everyone for giving me a much-needed reality check. I spent some time doing some research, and you guys in my GEF were right, and I was definitely lazy, depressed, and neglecting my hygiene and my relationship. It brings me to tears when I think about what it must have been like for my GEF. I sat down with my GEF and talked to her about it and said that I felt like I needed therapy. We got a brilliant therapist and had some sessions alone and some together and worked through our issues. I hadn't realized it, but in addition to my hygiene, she was also overworked with doing house chores and finding it hard to balance work and housework. Mike have agreed to help me clean up and trim my body hair one last time, and after that, we bought some new shaving equipment, and I have since started making sure I don't go back to my old ways. I also started going to the gym to do a little cardio and weights, nothing too extreme. I also got myself a lot of new clothes as a treat and changed my style a bit, including shaving off my beard, which Mike have always wanted me to do. I feel like a new person and am a lot happier and energetic. Although sometimes it is a bit weird around my friends and coworkers, and I feel like it is awkward being the new me and like I lost my identity, but I've gotten used to it now. Mike is so much happier and has a spark to her eyes, and I feel like our relationship has been rekindled. Tomorrow is our last therapy session. I've also started cooking more and trying new recipes on weekends, and she loves it. I have signed up for some cooking classes as I discovered I really like cooking. I still feel really awful for what I did to her, and I can't believe how long she put up with it. She said she was very close to ending it. I feel like I truly don't deserve her. One more relevant comment: you should continue therapy. I will if I feel the need for it. Depressed is probably the wrong word to describe it, and it was more lethargy than depression. Story 2. AITA for buying stuff for me instead of helping my family. I, 14F, am a dancer. I am unfortunately unable to go to classes very often because of my family's financial needs. I am very grateful that I am able to even participate in dance. When I had just turned 14, I began working at an ice cream shop to save money for equipment. A burr, Leo, and dance shoes like my teacher suggested, stretching equipment and a gymnastics beam, and a few mats just for fun. I also did many jobs on the side like mowing lawns, babysitting, house chores for neighbors, etc. This took so much time and effort, but I was eventually finally able to afford all the stuff. I had told my parents in advance that I would be working to earn money for some fun equipment, and they had been okay with it. I ordered everything on Amazon excitedly. I had waited so long to click the Place Your Order button. Everything was scheduled to come in a few weeks, and it finally got here today. I brought the packages inside when my dad came in and asked what everything was. I told him I had bought dance equipment, and he looked angry. He asked if I had used their money, and I said no, and that I had been working for months. That was why I was out of the house a lot. He asked how much money this cost, and I said about $800. He looked livid and called my mom in. He said I had made over $800, and instead of helping them out, I had been selfish and bought things for myself. They then started screaming at me saying how I should have helped them pay bills or at least helped pay for my dance lessons if I was mature enough to start working and buy stuff behind their back, when I had told them multiple times over the last few months that I had gotten a job, and that I was excited to get new dance equipment. I had even told them right after I placed the order. They told me to return everything and give them all their money back. I told my friends at school. 4 of them agree with my parents and say it wasn't okay for me to not help them out. 2 of them say I worked hard and that I deserve to do what I want with my money. Relatives have called me and told me to just give them their money and that I was being a brat, and I'd even heard mom telling someone I was going through a rebellious teen stage and that I was a selfish thief. I don't understand what I did wrong, but I also do feel bad because I could have used my money to help us out. Update. I have no idea how to update on AITA, so here's the update recap. I am a 14-year-old dancer, but my parents' wealth status make them cautious about spending, so I am unable to go often, mostly 2 times a month. I worked very hard for months at various jobs to buy some equipment that my teacher recommended, and my parents knew about it, but when everything came, they were very mad at me for spending my work money on dance equipment. OPDAT and INFO. Hey everyone, I just wanted to say I really appreciate all the support, love, comments, and messages you gave me. I know it sounds cringy to say that, but they honestly really helped me a lot, and it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Here are the answers to some questions you asked. A lot of people asked if I could keep this stuff at a friend's house or my ballet teacher's house. I don't think I'll be able to ask my ballet teacher because my parents are saying they are going to take me out, but I can see if I can go to a friend's house. Some people asked if I know how bad our financial status is. Our status is complicated, like we are in a good place to be able to buy good things, but my parents don't want to spend money on anything because they are afraid of going broke. They get money whenever and wherever they can, and a year ago, my dad asked a friend for a big loan because he said we were homeless when we were pretty okay. Some people asked if there was somewhere else I can live. No. A few hours after I posted, I went online and saw all the comments, and I was really happy that it wasn't my fault, because if it was, I would have felt horrible. I do still feel a bit bad, but it's okay, I guess. I showed the comments to my parents, and they got angrier. They said they were going to take me out of dance as a whole, which was very disappointing, but okay, because I remember there is a dance option as an elective for school. I just don't think if I'm going to be able to transfer this late, and I won't be able to do it over the summer. They kept yelling at me for a while, but I won't include what they said, sorry. All of the above is okay with me. It's not that bad. But when I woke up this morning and saw all my stuff was gone, I almost cried. I ran to my parents' room and asked them where my stuff was, and they said they sold it. They pawned it all. I worked so hard for hours a day, every day of the week, every week of the month, and months of the year, and I waited patiently, and then I had to wait patiently for it all to arrive. And after what felt like years and years and years, it finally all came. I could finally see that my hard work paid off. When I could see it all right in front of me, I never even got to use it, any of it. My parents just sold it all. Just like that, all my money that I worked forever for gone into their pockets. And not mine. I broke down in front of them, but ran away to my roomie. Will update when something changes. Relevant comments. Can you tell a teacher? It's spring break, so it will take a while. But I don't think it's that bad to have to tell somebody. Your parents are treating you horribly. My mom says I am treating them horribly for not paying them back after all they've done for me, paying my bills, letting me go to school, buying me food, and I'm just a brat. I just don't know anymore. It's their responsibility to care for you. I'm so confused. Everything I'm being told is the opposite of what I've learned my whole life. You need to report your parents. I'm scared to report my own parents. They will be mad at me if they get in trouble. And what if they don't even get in trouble? They'll hate me forever. I don't know what to do. I'm scared to report my own parents. They have done stuff for me, even if they do some bad stuff, and I know they will be mad at me if they get in trouble. If they don't get in trouble, then I'm doomed, so I have no idea what to do. Hi everyone, so I wanted to post this update because I won't be able to post again for a while, but I am able to say this. I told my parents I was going to my friend's, fake name, Cameron's house, and I went to her house. I told Cameron's mom everything, and we went to the police. I'm getting help, and I'm learning that a lot of things my parents do aren't normal or okay. And I'm so happy I made that AITA post because I never would have learned that, so thank you everyone for telling me. I might be staying at Cameron's house for a while. Thank you everyone. Relevant comments. Thank you. It's crazy how a bunch of people I don't know online are better than my actual parents. I do hope they won't send me back, and thank you for reading my posts, and I'll try my best to join the dance elective. Lilia also replied to comments on her original post with, "My parents sold my stuff and kept the money, but I reported them and found somewhere else to stay.